The taxi-hailing app operated in London by the US firm Uber does not break the law, the High Court has found. The court had been asked to decide whether the company's smartphones were considered meters, which are outlawed for private hire vehicles. The phones use GPS and external servers to calculate the cost of a journey. Transport for London said taking the case to court had been in the public interest. The app-based company allows users to order cars via their smartphones, which often arrive within minutes and can cost a fraction of the price of a black cab. Mr. Justice Ouseley declared that taximeters do not operate in the same way as the app, as they do not depend on GPS signals or include the app's other new tech characteristics to calculate fares. Emphatic call. TfL and Uber had both argued at a one-day hearing earlier in October that the app was not a meter, and both organizations greeted the decision as a victory. An Uber spokesman said, "This was not a marginal call, it is quite emphatic. In fact, it is contemptuous of the case brought before it." Transport for London also welcomed the ruling, saying there had been significant public interest in establishing legal certainty in the matter. The Licensed Taxi Drivers Association, LTDA, which represents many of the 25,000 licensed taxi drivers in London, asked the judge to rule it was a meter and ban its use. LTDA chairman Richard Massett said, "We certainly are going to an appeal. It's a fact that the smartphone acts in exactly the same way as a taximeter. It calculates the fare by means of time taken and distance covered, and it's doing exactly the same job. Private hire legislation specifically precludes private hire from using a meter, and that's exactly what it is." The Licensed Private Hire Car Association, LFCA, backed the LTDA and said the app was an attempt to circumvent the statutory prohibition on minicabs using meters. Black cab drivers argue that the app poses a risk to public safety and customers being overcharged, with no opportunity to challenge fares before the money is automatically taken out of their bank accounts. A spokesman for London Mayor Boris Johnson said, "The mayor is a strong supporter of new technology and he recognises that innovation is embraced by Londoners." However, he acknowledged huge challenges for the taxi and private hire trades, and legitimate concerns over vehicle emissions and congestion. He pointed out that TfL was carrying out a consultation on how to regulate the industry. Uber's Joe Bertram said, "Now the High Court has ruled in favor of new technology, we hope TfL will think again on their bureaucratic proposals for apps like Uber. Compulsory 5-minute waits and banning ride-sharing would be bad for riders and drivers. These plans make no sense. That's why 130,000 people have already signed our petition against these proposals."